So I finally watched Castlevania Nocturne.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, it was always playing from behind. It was always like a catch-up game, bro. Cause when they dropped that clip and we saw what Richter was gonna look like, why that dude gotta be so skinny? Like, get in the gym, you know what I'm saying? Pump some iron type shit. Like, let me not make y'all think that I'm some kind of connoisseur of Castlevania, you know what I mean? I know them from the Smash Ultimate series. Smash Ultimate was the first Smash I took seriously for real. I played the one on the Wii U for like 2 weeks. And like, you know, as toxic as Simon and Richter on Smash Ultimate, I won't lie, I've dibble dabbled in the way of Castlevania more than a few times. But yeah, like, I like them, you know, jacked, a little D's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I prefer. Like, Trevor was, you know, he wasn't like, you know, The Rock type shit, but he has some muscle on him. That to me was like my ideal, you know, body type. This is a crazy conversation. But I don't know. I think to be fair, I think Richter's like 16 in the show, so you know, nobody's really lifting for real unless you're like Baki. You know what I'm saying? If you're Baki, then you're lifting at 16. But for the most part, I guess Richter looks pretty regular for a 16-year-old. But I don't know, man. Like, I wish he didn't look so One Direction-y. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. One thing I gotta say about the Castlevania series, like, I've only met Trevor and Richter in terms of like personality, but they just all seem to be the same person. Like, they're just like, you know, motherfuckers with a British accent, hella rude to everybody. Like, they all reek of Butcher from The Boys. Like, I swear, like, that's just who the Belmonts are in whatever fucking iteration or generation they're in. I want to say 80% of the time, 90% of the time I'm cool with. The other 10% I'm just like, but like, why are you a dick though? You know what I'm saying? Like who pissed in your cereal? Like, why does everything gotta be some kind of like witty remark that's like low-key sarcastic and makes you come off like, you know, just not a nice person to be around? Anyway, I don't know if these count as anime, Castlevania. I feel like it operates in that realm of like, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit of anime, but not really, because it's not made in Japan. But it ticks all the boxes, if that makes sense. Like, you know, it presents like anime and it has all the tropes, you know what I'm saying? Like, off rip, episode 1, it's Richter and his mom and they're about to go someplace. That's already a setup. Then, you know, they start talking about hopes and aspirations. Instantly, somebody's about to die, unfortunately. Yeah, Richter, I'm not gonna lie to you, your mom's about to go. Lo and behold, yeah, he watched the vampire murk his mom right in front of his eyes, and he done joined a long list of anime characters who watched their parents die. If the person who kills your parents looks you in the eyes talking about like, I'm gonna kill you but not just yet, as traumatizing as that might be, just know you joining the leagues with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. There's also the typical old man that's really the coldest one in the show, that's been around the way. Yeah, so just a lot of typical anime tropes. Overall, pleasantly surprised. I don't know if that's really saying much, considering that I had low expectations for this because of how, you know, dopey Richter looked. But it was a decent watch. It's kind of like the same old, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why I watch Castlevania at this point. It's not that it's bad, but it's also like not that it's particularly good. I think the first Castlevania was way better than this, and even in terms of plot, maybe Dracula is just like a bit more of a compelling villain, you know what I'm saying? Because we get to see him, you know, with his little boo thing. Dracula's starting to, you know, warm up to humans. They're like, oh, maybe they're not so bad, and then she gets burnt at the fucking stake. That was crazy. And then you kind of see, okay, like, Dracula, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, type shit. This new shorty in, like, the Castlevania Nocturne is kind of like your typical big bad, like, I'm evil just because I gotta be. Which to me is just less compelling. There was less pulling at the heartstrings, you know what I'm saying? So to speak, when Dracula was, you know, playing the villain role. But that, not to say that that completely, you know, ruins the show for me. Like, it was still a decent watch. You can knock it out in a day if you're one of those, you know, binging fiends. Y'all know who you are. Y'all know who you are. But other than that, like, it's cool. I didn't really feel like many people were talking about it. I kind of understand why. Not really much else to say. But yeah.